Hello, and welcome to the Permission for Pleasure speaker series hosted by Live with Intent. I am your host, Amy Jones, and I am here today with the beautiful Irena Haris, and we are going to talk about quantum branding, and my whole body is tingling as we're saying this. Permission for Pleasure is a speaker series in service of your highest mind, body, and soul wellness, and it is anchored in leadership harmony. And that is music to my soul, and I'm so excited to share this space with you. Welcome, beautiful Irena. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. It is such a wonderful opportunity to talk about topics that are so close to my heart and so close to what I do professionally and how I lead my life. And I really intend for everything that I share with you today to be hopefully of use to all of your viewers. So pass it on as we discussed.
I love you. I love you so much. And you have been such a powerful part in my spiritual evolution and my business evolution.
Okay.
You've contributed to my beautiful quantum branding. Irena and her beautiful partner, Tanya, are both quantum luxury branding mentors for coaches, healers, therapists, soulpreneurs who yearn for fully aligned branding anchored in inner harmony, magnetism, and uniqueness. I love every single one of those words, and we are so excited to have you here. We're going to go 20 or 30 minutes. We're going to go through some questions, and then we're going to close with how people can connect into your world. So I would love for you to maybe elaborate on your introduction that I've shared. Is there anything that you'd like to add to this beautiful introduction that you've given to me?
With pleasure. First of all, I'd like to just clarify some points regarding the explanation you provided. You know, when we talk about branding, a lot of people just assume it's design, it's graphics, it's this promo post for a program. But the way we and the way a lot of people who actually understand branding go about it is they go much deeper. So what we are dealing with here, it's beyond the surface level. You know, we aspire, when I say we, I mean Tanya and I, together with our clients, because we always co-create, we really aspire to connect what's within and what's on the outside. So that's on one hand. And on the other hand, I really wanted to mention what the words quantum and luxury mean. So quantum, yes, quantum refers to the quantum field, which is, for those of you who may not know, like information field. Like, for example, when you go online, you search something in the browser, the way the place where this information comes from, this is for us like the quantum field. So we can see what's needed to be done, how you can evolve, how you can expand your brand, who your ideal clients are, and so on and so forth. I won't go too much into details right now. And on the other hand, why luxury? Well, you and I hope we'll talk about authenticity today, and luxury connects this inner value that we really honor, and also the arty part of everything. So it's just intertwined. It intertwined beautifully. Tanya, my business partner, as you mentioned before, Tanya and I, we developed this concept, quantum luxury branding and mentorship. So there you go.
Oh, you know, and it's so amazing because as part of my spiritual evolution, I have learned to let go of my guidance and my leadership from external and welcome my internal authenticity, my truth, my being. And it's so beautiful and so empowering with what you women do is that quantum is your truth and your authenticity and your being. You may or may not see it, but it's yours. And you just kind of like wrap this beautiful bow around what is already in your truth to receive. And you bring some grounded, masculine anchoring and structure to this beautiful, intuitive, like feminine essence, and just make it in such a beautiful package, because it's something that the world that we currently live in have a really hard time wrapping our mind around, because it's a very intuitive knowing. And everything that you gave me in your branding document, I was just like, yep, 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 totally knew it. But it was given to me in this beautiful presentation, which I still use to this day to reflect back on. Thank you. That it's me on paper. Like, it's gorgeous. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I interrupted you. I'm so excited.
I know, we've been looking forward to doing this for so long. I'm just like, my whole body is buzzing. I love it.
I know. Today I shared on my Instagram page, oh my God, I cannot remember the exact words, but the point of the whole story was that our mastery helps you enjoy your mastery. And what is mastery? Then really knowing who you are and guiding yourself and letting yourself be guided. So maybe a deeper, take on branding, but we like to go deep.
Yeah, it's just for anybody that is looking to just create more space so that more of your soul can just speak volumes. Like, this is just, there's so much power and wisdom in what you ladies co-create. It's really, really magical. And
Thank you.
yeah, and I'd love to hear what inspired you to start this journey, because it's something that I didn't even know existed a few years ago.
I will gladly share. Just in a second, I just wanted to repeat the word you used a second ago. That is space. I mean, before I will say I, because of course it doesn't apply to everyone, but I think it's part of everybody's process, is getting acquainted with the importance of understanding inner space and how it allows us to start businesses, how it allows us to come from the place of authenticity and to experience joy, to share joy, and at the same time receive financial and other tangible, I cannot pronounce the word. Reciprocal, whatever things. I don't have a better word now.
The giving and the receiving.
And I'm gonna say that giving space was one of the key elements in my personal and professional evolution. And I will now tie this to the last question you asked. How did this all start? Oh my God. I remember one of my first posts was I was just explaining, why quantum branding, why quantum luxury branding, why mentorship. I mean, the concept developed through time. And I remember I wrote, I was either going to implode or explode. That was my sensation. I mean, okay, I'm a fiery person. You already know me, and maybe you can tell. And when I feel passionate about things, like this energy needs to go somewhere. And as someone who has, I can freely say, struggled a lot with being multi-talented for so many years, and having done God knows what, like tried piano, opera singing, did PhD in linguistics. I don't know, tried hiking, tried salsa dance. I tried it all. And I was constantly trying to find myself, to discover myself. I used to call myself the eternal explorer. yearning for knowledge.
Mhm.
And actually what I was yearning for is that inner truth that we talked about, and that I hope we will, expand on more. And this came, I think that some things happened parallel. I allowed space for myself to meet myself and to meet me at the depths where this was where this business required me to be at for it to be born.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that was really powerful in my personal experience was you're right, it gave me the space and it put
Mm-hmm.
me in a lane, so to speak, of my authenticity, of my unique ooh, and I'm blanking on the word, but like my truth. It kind of kept me in the lane so that I didn't get distracted with all these really fun, amazing things. Because like you and I,
Mm-hmm.
multitasking kills
Yes.
productivity. And it keeps
Yes.
you productive by staying in your quantum excellence, which
Oh, yes.
is really powerful because then that creates confidence and belief and more empowered self-worth because you're seeing the rewards in alignment with what your soul already knows is there for you to receive.
And a lot of people, I would add, struggle with understanding or grasping what this inner truth is. What is my truth? Uh, because sometimes for a lot of us, um, it's much easier to go with the flow. And I will later on, I hope, share some of my challenges and talk about what is widely accepted and how we deal with that, especially from the perspective of branding and business. And I would say that if any of you are struggling with understanding why this problem with the client happened, why can't I figure out if this program is for me, all of the whys and misunderstandings,
Mhm,
go back to the question, what is my truth?
mhm,
Sometimes the answer will be, this is not meant for you. Sometimes the answer will be, okay, you need to develop yourself in this regard.
mhm,
Sometimes the answer will be something completely different and unrelated to business or branding.
mhm, mhm.
So yeah, just a side note.
Well, and that's a good segue into what were some of the challenges and obstacles that kept showing up that kept veering you off your path, 1 click, 2 clicks, 20 clicks, and how did you move through those to keep staying in alignment with your authenticity?
Well, I'm gonna tell you straight off that understanding the connection with the higher self
Mhm,
has helped immensely. And this is available to everyone who is willing to work with the divine, who is open spiritually, and who may potentially calls himself or herself a mystic. But aside from that, I'm sorry, I think I drifted away, drifted off a bit. The question was about challenges and how I overcame them, right?
yeah, yeah, but that's okay. You go where you need to go. This makes sense.
Good, good. Sometimes, with my thoughts, they are like a train. And there we go, the Alps, the Alps. um, so I remember at the beginning, and mind you, Tanya and I have been growing this concept for the past 2 years. So we're not talking about a decade. We yeah, two
And I will,
years.
and I will point out, this is how you collapse time on your success by playing in the quantum, because what it does,
Mhm.
it allows you to slow down, to get very potent and targeted on the one thing you need to do in that very moment, which then accelerates you into the quantum and collapsing time on your success. The problem is there's so much noise that you can't slow down. And when you do slow down, you don't
Yes.
listen or you don't trust.
And that's why the quantum itself is insufficient. It's like, going on the web and not knowing what you're looking for, and not know, for example, you have an assignment for school to read about, I don't know, the president XYZ, and you actually don't know which resource is important or relevant for the assignment. So what we need there, we need energetics, we need harmony between your masculine and feminine energy. There are so many things we need, but for someone who may not know much about it, there are, some very simple steps that you can take, and they're universal. I mean, even when we talk about deep diving, when we talk about energetics, we still talk about universal principles. And it's like, for example, when you read different holy books in different religions, there are some universal principles. The same goes for branding, the same goes for business, the same goes for personal development. And we want to tap on that. But yeah, I'll go back now to the challenge I wanted to talk about. Oh my God, my brain. So the biggest challenge at the beginning was understanding who our people are. Because of the nature of what we do, it was, first of all, there is fear. There is a lot of fear, and I'm not gonna lie. I think that there is not a soul in this world who's, started a private business and didn't, think about, oh my God, am I going to have an next client? When is it going to happen? What's in my investment going to be? What's my, return on investment going to be? And so on and so forth. Like, am I going to be able to provide for myself, regardless of whether you are in live with someone or provide it in some other ways? Of course, you want to have, you want to ensure your financials are solidified, doing what you love most, and sharing your talents. I mean, at least this was the viewpoint that Tanya and I had. And I remember we had so many wrong people. And why do I use these, quotation marks? Is that, of course, they were not wrong. They happened for a reason. We understand that. And they taught us such huge lessons. It was amazing. Like, only because of that did we actually understand that we need people that we're I started, like I want to say too many things.
I know. Well, it's like everything is a lesson, and it keeps clicking you into almost like an automated conveyor belt. And when you get onto that, like, nourishing conveyor belt, you see that you needed to experience those things to kind of like get you going and click into place.
Absolutely.
Totally feel that. Totally feel that.
Hadn't it been for those people, we would have had a much more difficult job of finding out that we need surrender, that we need trust, and that we need flow with people.
Yeah, and sometimes because we are humans living in this 3D world, and 3D is the human experience, and lack of better words, quantum is the 5D, and we're so used to living in our mind. Do this, get that. I need proof. And sometimes you need to get clunked over the head once, twice, 75 times to go, no, you're still going in the wrong direction. And this is the thing for anybody that's in this pivotal life-changing moment. So for me, for example, I left a 20-year corporate business career, and first off, I had no idea that this world existed. And then I came into this world and I'm like, oh, this is like so nourishing because I'm here to help and pay forward my wisdom. And for those people that are in this, like, I want to do something different and I don't know where to go and what to do, when you trust and go towards your fear, and you trust that that is actually where you're supposed to go, not the world that you've been living in, which is predictable and safe. It might be blowing up in your face right now because everything's changing, and it's really, really scary to go towards something that you can't tangibly see in the physical. But I 1000% guarantee that is the path that your soul is like dying for you to go towards. You are have so much nourishment and fulfillment and it may feel scary as F-U-C-K, but it
Mhm.
feels so right.
And something I have, let's say, had challenges with in life is like I sometimes expect things to go like 3 to 1. There you go. Uh, it will just like happen like that. Uh, I mean, uh, it's lovely that I'm passionate and have beautiful visions, but sometimes you need to scratch here, scratch there. Remember, we talked before this call about the lottery ticket. So what would practically be somebody's lottery ticket? I don't know exactly what I want to do, but hey, I see I'm talented in this. Let me try use my talent for something practical. So let's see where this goes. And what's really important is that we do not let ourselves be stuck on the same format we designed at the very beginning. For example, one of the challenges Tanya and I had at the beginning, we thought we were a marketing agency. And let me tell you, Amy, we are as far from marketing agency as Pluto is from Earth. Like barely any connections.
Yeah.
So we don't do algorithms, we don't do analytics, not in that way, right? And if we were stuck on the way we saw our business at the very beginning, we wouldn't have allowed ourselves to grow. And you need to grow, especially in this private sector. And especially in this line of businesses, which we call soul entrepreneurship, as I like to use this word, especially, you really need to allow yourself to like, what's the word? Like a fish, what does the fish do?
Ebb and flow and swim and flow and
Yeah,
trust.
ebb and flow.
Yeah.
Exactly. So expansion is much more available to those that are willing to create the space for that and that are willing. Oh, I had a perfect term and then it went. I wish I can bring it back,
The
but I hope you get
expansion,
the gist.
yeah, the expansion happens when you have the courage to create the space to allow your authenticity to shine and then act upon that authenticity. And that's how you collapse time on your success. And that's
Mm, yes, and also saying no to I'm not gonna suffer anymore.
yeah,
It will end now.
yeah,
And it has to be a resounding no. Like all the yeses you've said in life, this has to be a resounding no.
yeah. It's putting yourself first, treating your home as sacred and sovereign, and you're in charge. And this is why this speaker series is so important to me, because your permission to receive your pleasure comes from you, not outside of you.
Exactly.
Your mind, body, and soul wellness comes from you. So you serve yourself. You give yourself permission to receive this. It has nothing to do with outside. And when you flip it and you serve yourself first and you give yourself permission to receive all the wonders of the pleasures of the universe, you will be mind blown by what instantly is in your reality.
I agree. And also part of this allowing is also the process where we stop punishing ourselves, like, oh, you haven't done this so far, or you're such a nuisance, or whichever, it goes down the same line. Because shame and guilt is absolutely useless in this space. For branding, if you want to grow your brand, try thinking, what can I do better? I mean, it's only logical, of course, but we waste so much time spending energy that is just like going down the drain without actually exercising the laser focus that our brand needs. We see those amazing CEOs, we see those people, taking part in interviews, uh, hosting master classes and everything. And we don't ask ourselves, when was the last time I laser focused my energy? When was the last time did I actually spend the same amount of time thinking about how can I grow my business as I did lamenting over what was lost?
One of the big things I found with playing in the quantum and in your space in the quantum branding was it helped me shift my perspective from running away from my pain to going towards my pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
As a human, we either run away from what we're scared of or we go straight towards what we're scared of, and both are
Mm-hmm.
uncomfortable. I would rather
Mm-hmm.
welcome pleasure uncomfortably at first, and then knowing that that's my truth, and then that's okay. And that's where you build the courage and the confidence and the belief and the worth and the wealth when you shift and you go towards your pleasure.
I'd rather the same thing. I'd rather know than live in a lie,
Yeah.
in illusion, and in half-life.
Yep.
I don't think I use this word at all, but I can freely say I despise half-life, because I think that every time we compromise our soul, we become mediocre. And mediocre is not the type of job that you do, it's the way you treat yourself and then your gifts as well.
When you live in that half life, you are telling yourself that you're not worthy to receive your abundance, and we are all worthy and we are all valuable. And when you're kind of on that tightrope, I'm in or I'm out, what do I do? Do I go this way or go this way? You're not in your confidence anchoring in a decision. And the quantum branding experience brings an anchoring, a soul resounding inner knowing to somebody that may at the very beginning of their career is trying to like learn how to trust themselves, and I don't know, and this isn't it just brings an anchoring and a deep knowing in it, courage and a confidence and a value to get off of that wobble and pick your lane and go like balls to the walls, go.
Oh my God, I should have recorded myself this part.
Well, you'll get the playback. You'll get the
I
playback.
will. I'll definitely. Yeah, you did the identity package with us, and I think
Yeah,
this is one of our most monumental creations. And I'm really
it literally is priceless.
thank you. I have, I'm not gonna lie, I have seen people change a lot with that, but it's you know what happens? The information in the quantum, you know, people, they expect only pleasure, as you know, we touched upon pleasure, we touched upon pain, and I would like to, you know, give it more space and elaborate. When you receive information, let's say you go to an astrologer and people will want to hear, yeah, you will, I'm gonna use stereotypes, okay? You will get married, you will have a beautiful house, you will have whatever. You'll buy a new car next year, have children, whatever. But they don't expect to have a broken tooth, to have to pay, I don't know, for a fine and stuff like that. Of course, we're not talking about gifts and punishments here. But when we receive information from the quantum, and when we work on our brand from the quantum, and when we work on ourselves from the perspective of higher self and quantum field, despite how information seems alluring, inviting, it sometimes comes as a shock. Wouldn't you agree? And sometimes, and very often, we are more afraid of our success than of our failure. And that's why we repeat some of the patterns. And no blame, no guilt. We've all been there. It's just
you gaslight
like
yourself, you self-sabotage because you're afraid that you could actually have that. And
that's why I think that part of what we do is like combining subconscious, quantum subconscious reframe
yeah,
with quantum field, with branding, and etc. I mean, it gives you like a 360 perspective. Do I think people can do without all of this? Yes, I do. But I personally, as I said before, I'm the type of person who wants to look the truth in the face.
Mhm.
And I'd rather know, and I'd rather do something about it, and then go about my life and use my talents and share them as a form of my service to the world and my gratitude to the divine.
I love
So
that you said that this gives you a space to look the truth in the face, because to me, that's how courage is deepened. And, you know, and you're right, you can absolutely do this on your own, 100%.
of course.
It's from you anyway. And it just you know, it might take somebody a day, a week, a month, a year. Somebody might never get to it, but there's some version of a guarantee with what you women do and the medicine and the magic that comes through you for all of us, that it really does collapse time on somebody's success. And also, it acts as a guardrail when your mind and you start self-sabotaging and start gaslighting. You can go back and course correct and be like, but yes, this is me. Yes, this is who I am. And it's that anchoring that you give your business to expand and run blazingly fast towards your success.
Because I've struggled in life before with finding professional direction that would
Yes.
make my soul filled with joy, all the while helping other people. I am that much more invested in doing this and anchoring, as you said, everything in authenticity. I cannot explain the difference between, I mean, those who've done it, they know what I'm talking about. Those who haven't done it, they can intuitively sense what it could be like. But when you know your mission, there is no turning back. You will go over mountains. You will move, you know, like whatever. You will do it.
I love that you said it anchors that. Oh, and I missed the word. I think it was professional business piece with the spirituality. It's like what I do in my business. You bring the heart, you bring the, oh, I lost it, but it's like that structure, that process that we're used to seeing, but you weave the spiritual into it, where in my former corporate world, that was just like non-existent. And there's no space for intuition and authenticity. It's, I've created this program, it works for me, I'm the CEO of the company, do as I say, and you know, let's make $1 million and rule the world. No, everybody is valuable.
You know what? Tanya and I grew this concept from what we love, what we honor, what we cherish, and what we would love others to experience. And I understand that what you just described is necessary, maybe for some types of businesses in some lanes. But we are here, I mean, we work specifically with female coaches, as I said, healers, or you mentioned it, therapists and soulpreneurs, people who are invested in understanding themselves, in growing themselves, and really, you know, like using their soul as the spice, as the root, as the plant, as the leaf, and as the flower, within and without, inside and out.
So that being said, where do you sort of see this going? What's your short, your long-term vision? Or what are you most passionate that's just feeling so pleasurable and rich that you just want to expand and just welcome more into your world? Where are you being pulled to grow right now?
We're currently developing several projects, which I cannot disclose just yet, but the essence is really sharing this perspective where you get to have your paradigm that has nothing to do with, you know, wildly accepted format, and that it gets to be anchored in authenticity, and that you get to have it all, and that sharing your talents, sharing your soul wisdom, your experiences can be both lucrative and a joy generator. And everything that we do is based on these principles, and I will never stop fighting for, not against, but fighting for seeing authenticity as luxury. We may watch news every day and see hungry people all over the world, but when you're deprived, when you feel deprived of joy, and when you go hungry, hungry spiritually and emotionally, looking for projects and businesses, and you go developing your brand from that place, it renders different results. So I really am looking for continuing this passionate passionate voyage of helping people see wholeness within and
so
growing
funny.
their brands from that place.
It's so funny because you're in your vision, you're living it. It's just the expansion of making it
Yes.
pay forward and bigger. So I feel that. So what's been the biggest growth that you've received? I mean, I know you really have just started this in the last few years, and your spiritual journey kind of coincides with my timeline. So in the last few years, what's been the biggest growth that you've received on this magical journey so far?
I cannot tell you one thing, because the last 2 years have been a whirlwind of events. The moment I allowed myself to get immersed into developing my brand, and when I say my, of course, I mean my business partners and mine, a lot of beautiful things happen in my private life. But at the same time, I worked with my mentor. I took different courses. I practiced prayer. I practiced journaling. I got in touch with myself daily. And all of this together, because it's never like, it's never like take one pill and the headache will go away. I mean, it's like training for the marathon. You cannot like run one day or half a mile and then I'll win the marathon. And marathon is a metaphor here. It stands for joyful life, right? So you have to keep investing daily. So you said the biggest growth. Oh my, I feel like I'm actually living my purpose. I am not saying we don't have bad days. When I say bad, I mean tough. We like to, actually, it's not bad. Delete that. Tough days. I'm saying, regardless of what is happening on the outside, I maintain my faith and sense of direction. So besides that, I managed to, with this business, I managed to enjoy life as it is. And I can say that I'm the healthiest in all my life.
You do. You have that complete mind, body, soul wellness because you are living your authenticity.
I work on that every day. I strive for that to be so every single day.
Yeah. And when you click into that, it does have more of an effortless flow to it.
It's like what I believe this is a term used by Yvonne de la Flor, choiceless choice.
I like that. I've not heard her say that before. I like that.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I think it's her mentor's term, but I'm not sure. So sorry if I said the wrong name. but choiceless choice. You want your dedication to be so strong that something that for example, like you forget that you need to do something. It becomes part of your day because you are so devoted.
Yes. 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 Yes.
And this is related to non-negotiables. This is related to what you want your life to be. And I don't want my life to be a lie. And I don't want my life to be a pretense. And I don't want my life to be some form of, dim future where, I'll have money for holidays, but maybe I won't have something else. I want it all. And not in a unhealthy or toxic way, or but whatever somebody might think. We are born to have it all. And the more we give ourselves space, the more we exercise. Exercise, again, another term by Yvonne de la Flor, the wonderful, wonderful mentor. I mean, she's amazing. Go look her up. What was the term? Faith in action.
Oh, yeah.
So you maintain faith.
Yes.
But you exercise action.
Yes.
And this is the beautiful harmony between masculine and feminine as well. And everything on this planet is, based on that, whether we like it or not. We're talking about energetics here. And even your brand, there are so many exercises, so many tools that are precisely rooted in that.
And this is that authentic leadership. And it's so easy, yet we just overcomplicate it. And what would be the one piece of advice that you would give your younger self, that you would say, or to the audience that's listening? What would you like to leave them with as inspiration to pay forward?
It's gonna come. It's gonna come because your mission cannot evade you. That's for sure. Now, that's like the most uplifting thing I can say, because it's not like destiny or whatever. You are born with certain qualities. You are born with certain strengths, and throughout life, you work on those. You exercise them. You build those muscles. Metaphorically speaking, of course. Of course, it's gonna lead to something, but I just want to add that the more you consciously devote yourself, the deeper the response from life, the bigger the results. Everything is going to be, in your eyes, more beneficial and hopeful.
I love that. The more you consciously devote to yourself.
Yes.
So powerful. And you're right. It's coming. It's yours to receive. I love it. Thank you so much. This has been my honor, my privilege. I love you. Please let our audience know how they can connect with you. And yeah, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, first of all. It was such, for me, having the ability to speak about this with someone who understands is so beautiful and so uplifting. I feel like my soul is dancing, literally. Like I see the Cinderella shoes, or actually I can hear them in my ears. So you can reach me on Facebook, Irena Haris, or whichever way you want to pronounce it, Irena Haris, 1R. Also Instagram, Irena_Harris_QRC, which stands for Queen Rebel Consulting. Rebel is also part of our, what's the word, archetype. And you can also look for Tanya Obrad, OBRAD. And the same for Instagram, Tanya_Obrad_QRC. We love to talk about what we believe in, and especially on Instagram, you will see on my profile a lot of practical guidance. So you're welcome. You're welcome. And if you want to connect more with...
Oh, you went on mute. I'm just
I'm
gonna
sorry, I just received, oh my God, I received like a call, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. You just went on mute, and I'm gonna put all of this in the No, you're good. We can hear you. I'm gonna put all of this in the comments so everybody has both you and Tanya's contact info. But you know, you said if there's a way that somebody wants to connect with you, and then you went mute.
Yes, so if you would like, actually, as a thank you for being here and for allowing me to share my wisdom with you, I would love to offer a gift to all of your viewers. So we called it quantum assessment. For all aligned people, we will gladly do quantum assessment of what is needed to be done with your brands, everything that we hold in our toolbox and can potentially see as beneficial and as aligned with your higher self and as advised by your quantum field, we would be happy to do so.
That is so beautiful. Like, I just don't even have words for the impact that you women have had on my space and my world and what you do. It's beautiful. And please take Irena up on this offer. It's going to change your world. And if you'd like to learn more about quantum branding and understanding the quantum and how this can positively impact and help you create more authenticity in your personal and professional brand, I'll drop Irena's contact info at the bottom. And thank you so much. This has been lovely. And we will share this with our community. And I'm very grateful for you. I love you.
Thank you. I love you so much. And I hope this serves as many people as gets in touch with this video.
Bye-bye. Thank you for joining us today for Permission for Pleasure, which is a special guest speaker series hosted at Live with Intent. Our mission and purpose is to bring harmony and wealth to all areas of your life. And the more wealth you receive, the more pleasure you receive in all parts of your world. If you've enjoyed this content, please like, subscribe, and share. And if there's anything in particular that you'd like to learn more about in service of your highest life and your most prosperous life, please comment below or please connect with us directly, and it would be an honor and privilege to serve this to you. Have a beautiful day.